So the school we go to, we work with all most of Southeast Michigan police canines, federal canines, hospital systems, federal Detroit Metro, and dogs are trained in from any narcotics to explosive to even smelling money. Large sum of money gets off the scent to where a dog will find that.
That will come in handy in retirement.
Yeah. So it's awesome. It's the best job ever. I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
How did you get started?
Well, the system
what made you decide you wanted to do that?
You know what, the system decided that we already had handlers in place at other sites. The site that we currently work at decided to get a team. I put in for it, went from a board, and went through the school. It's 3 months of school, and it ain't easy in any means. And like I said, some will wash out. But this, I was teamed up with a great dog, best dog, and it's just like I said, a lot of folks get into for the wrong reasons, and they usually wash out, and they're afraid they do something that, But the ones that stick around and stick it through, they go far with it. I've always liked animals, with wildlife animals.
Sorry, can you move your phone back up that big table back there?
That's not, I don't think it says.
Yeah. I'm gonna move yours back there too.
Oh yeah.
I just heard that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Just making a noise.
Well, it wasn't just me.
It's something that we really, I mean, we're lucky if we can hear something like that little small fuzziness, but when he plays it back, it's like it'll ruin the whole it'll have like a high whining noise or something that we can't necessarily hear right now.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So we've learned, like, he had to scrub like an entire episode because his buddy was here, and it was a great episode. But his buddy was sitting like right next to the mixer and had his cell phone in his pocket. And of course,
hissing.
We didn't think to tell him, and we can't hear it right now. Yeah. And after he said it was like unlistenable. It's the whole episode. So
yeah. Sorry, big tangent, but that's really cool. I never really I've met a couple of them, so through your dad and through Christy. But I've never had a chance to talk to anybody to figure out, well, how did you decide to get into that, or what's it like on a day-to-day?
It's a full-time job. It's a 24/7 job. My job don't end when I punch the clock to go home. It still continues. I still work my dog. Mm-hmm. When you're at home, you don't work him as much. You gotta give him some time off so you don't break down the dog. But it's a full-time job. You still gotta train the dog and work the dog.
It's a real big commitment to
you don't do it for the money. You do it because you love it. Usually the ones, like I said, to get into for the wrong reasons, you see them. You see it through the actions through the dogs or the handler.
No, does he ever have a bad day where like you're getting ready to go to work and he's like, oh man, I really don't feel like it?
That's weird that you said that. I had it the other day, and I was getting my gear on, and then I looked down and he was snoring. This was yesterday, and he was like, so he's just, the dogs. Every single day for the past 4 years, my dog has been with me. When I go somewhere, he goes. He's never boarded. He's with me 24/7. He's probably whining right now because he's not here. But
at least he can hear your voice on the podcast.
Yeah, he's watching. That's right.
Oh, we feel horrible now.
But working dogs can't have a bad day.
Yeah.
They can't have a bad day because if they have a bad day, what happens? They miss an explosive. God forbid he does something to somebody that shouldn't have. So he's got to be on point at all times.
So you just got a comment from Nicholas and Cindy Tuttle.
That's my brother. What's up? From New Mexico.
He said Scott loves when Taylor rubs his belly.
Puts
you right to sleep, huh?
Yeah, he loves belly rubs. But also,
no, he was saying that Taylor rubs your belly.
That too.
See, now that's a well-trained dog right there.
And he has a brother too at home. Which is an 8-pound Shih Tzu. So, and they both coexist.
The size of his poops.
Which one runs the house, right?
The Shih Tzu.
The Shih Tzu runs the house. The Shih Tzu we have with Taylor. Shih Tzu looks out the window all day while Taylor goes to work, and then comes home and
beats up on Taylor.
It's like a wife in the 50s.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Just like that, we lost 30 viewers.
Yeah, we've never been that high.
Yeah, that's a lie.
So yeah, he does demos. We go to the elementary schools, and perform demos for the kids, various outings and so forth. And he's certified, you know, you don't think that the dog, there's no gray area. You know, the dog has to certify what he's been trained in.
Every time I roll through a border patrol checkpoint, I wait for one of the dogs to bark at me.
Well, that probably wouldn't be too good.
All right.
You got something to hide?
Hey.
Hey.
Oh boy.
An old condom of cocaine stuck in.
Tacos and
That's
stuff.
the mule.
The dog mule.
Thought I got that far up there.
All right.
Oops.
This guy looks like he's pinching his butt cheeks quite hard.
How you doing, sir? Hey, how's it going? Everything's fine.
I rolled up one night and they go, "Are you an American citizen?" And the guy, he's asking me as he crawls up on the side of my truck. And he goes, "Are you an American citizen?" "Yeah, get out of here." He looked up and saw me and was like, "Just go."
He just
He
gave up.
didn't even make me answer. He just, "Get out of here."
That's
It's profiling.
Well, it was
That's what
profiling.
that's exactly what
that's
that is.
great profiling.
Profiling
That's the
is
definition of
wrong.
profiling.
Right.
Sometimes racism works out for you.
That reminds me of a story that my mom told me about my Boosh and Judge, my grandpa and grandma, my grandpa.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry,
It's
Grandma.
all making
Sorry,
sense
Grandpa.
now. All making sense now.
But apparently they were going across into Canada one day to go gamble, and they had gotten some sort of argument in the car on the way there. And obviously this was way before the restrictions we have now. So you would just pull up, talk to the person at the window real quick. They basically would just ask you, "Yeah, are you a U.S. citizen?" You say yes and drive on. Well, apparently when they asked my judge that in the driver's seat, he said, "Oh, yep." And then my Boosh looked over with a Russian accent and proceeded to tell the border agent that she was from the old country. And apparently that didn't go over too well with the border agent. So they were stopped for quite some time. But yeah, it was my border story right there.
Anybody else? Border story? Nicholas?
No.
I'll divulge.
They usually see me and I just keep driving because they just go, okay.
Time for pick of the week, Corey?
You must have something good this week, because you're really trying to get on this pick of the week
No.
here.
Why would you say that?
Just so you,
Don't I always have something good for pick of the week?
just so you know, Smashly is watching.
I know. I did see that.
There's a lot of good stories in regards to Smashly. If she were to ever call in or come on the podcast,
I talked to her. I told you I talked to her the other day, and it's been the first time in quite some time. And I mean, she told me, well, I'm not much of a talker, so I wouldn't. You know, I'm like, well, you can at least come hang out, because I would at least feel better telling the stories in her presence rather than when she's not here.
she's here.
Well,
She's here.
I mean, Ashley, if you're still there,
Yeah, she's here.
if you want to, I'll give one quick story if
Why
you
don't you
want
just
me
start
to.
with how she got the name Smashly?
Ooh, did we?
Yeah, we should probably. Well,
You can't refer to somebody as Smashly without explaining where that came from.
a long time ago, before she was the upstanding mother she is now,
Yes.
she safely drank a lot with us, and I think due to her small frame, it hit her a lot harder than it would hit us. But
yeah,
she,
Ashley's she could almost be qualified as a legal midget.
Oh boy.
well, we just lost our.
Oh boy.
Drop it
No,
down.
and
Lost our
she-
short viewers now.
11, 10, 9.
She's like what, 5'1"?
I never saw her in terms of size. I always saw her as a normal
You
person.
son of a bitch. Threw him right under the bus.
But yeah, she would try to keep up with, as far as like shots wise and drinks wise, with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it never really worked out in her favor.
There was one time we were around a table close to the size of this one, probably a little bit smaller. And Corey, I don't know if that was the time you were there or not, but there was only about 4 of us, I think. And it was back in the Jägermeister days. And we were
Jägerbomb.
yeah,
Jägerbomb.
we're gonna play 2-man, which is a card game, and after you get a certain amount of cards, and you take a certain amount of sips, like many drinking games. And Ashley didn't have anything but a bottle of Jaeger, and I'm like, nope, this is like take a sip of like 3 or 4 sips of beer kind of game. And she's like, oh no, I'll be fine. I'm like, no, you won't. No, you won't, because that's Jaeger. You don't take like 5 sips of Jaeger and then 5 minutes later take 5 more sips. It's not like that. You need like a mixed drink or something. She's like, nope. This will be fine. The game lasted like 20 minutes. She was wandering somewhere else in the house.
Corey never even took a turn.
No, it was bad. It hit her just as fast, and with a lot of occasions like that, the term Smashly started to grow.
So Julia, just to throw, she hasn't. I don't know if she's still there, but I got to tell this one because it was probably one of the funniest ones. Her and my sister were at Ashley's old house, and they were hanging out all night or whatever, and I had just gotten there, and I pulled up in the driveway, and it was pouring rain out. I mean, pouring. I couldn't even see once I turned off my windshield wipers. And I was on a phone call, and Callie and Ashley realized it was taking me a while to get inside, so Ashley, being the kind-hearted person that she is, decided that it was time for me to do a shot. So she came out in the pouring rain and stood at my window with no umbrella, nothing, but put her hand over the shot so no rain was getting in it. Well, the phone, it was work or something very important that I couldn't just roll down the window and engage with her. So she stood outside my car window.
You didn't roll the window down?
I couldn't, dude. It was a very important. Like, I couldn't just hang up the phone.
How many hands did you need to be on the phone with this person on the phone?
I couldn't. If I would have rolled the window down, I would have had to be like, hang on one second, and then,
all right,
and then tell Ashley like, hey, sorry, hang on. So I'm like, she'll get the point eventually.
Corey,
which she didn't.
Corey hasn't always been this nice, jolly person that we know him to be today.
I feel like the old, like, put the person on mute without telling them, and then roll down the window, get the shot, and then back to where you were. Wiser. I feel like that's something you should know.
This was way before.
That was a thing.
It was, yeah. The mute wasn't. It was my old Nextel that had like 4 buttons on it, and mute was not one of them.
He was trying. I want everyone to hear our conversation. Put that window up.
Yeah, but she stood out there like a trooper, in pouring rain, soaking wet.
Yeah, Ashley's a sweetheart.
Making sure she had my shot covered, and so no rain was getting in my shot.
God forbid.
It was back in the days when you could throw your phone into the concrete wall and it'd be fine.
Oh, I miss Nextels. Don't you get me wrong.
Yeah, she. There was another time that she walked away to go to the bathroom, and never came back. And I went to find her, and she was laying on the granite countertop with one of her toes kind of curled underneath the spider burner of the stove. I'm like, how can we fall asleep? How did anyone fall asleep on that? So yeah, that's as far as I choose to tell that story. That's where it's gonna end.
Last one. There's now that I'm thinking of it, there's so many.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
We had just left Howells, I believe. We were driving down Monroe or something, and I was trying to get her attention for her to stop because I needed to tell her something or I needed to talk to her. So I flashed my high beams a couple times, and she pulled over. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I got out and I walk up to the car, and she's sitting there with her hands on the wheel and her driver's license in her hand. I'm like, Ashley, what are you doing? She's like, here. Oh, Corey. And I'm like, what? Why do you have your license? I thought I was getting pulled over.
Oh boy.
I'm like, I just flashed my high beams at you. There's no red or blue lights. Yeah, I don't know. Thought I was getting pulled over. I'm like, okay. That's good to know. It's that easy to get you to stop and someone abducts you.
I still like the story about when she bit a curb and blew out her tire and called.
Oh my God!
Called you. There were times where Ashley was kind of the bane of Corey's existence. He had a very love-hate relationship with Ashley. It was like a little sister, but it was like I told you not to do this and you did it anyway kind of like relationship. But he would still go help. You know, Corey would always still go help, and there was something to do where she, I drove here and hit. I don't know what happened. My tires flown. He's like, God damn it, Ashley.
I think at one point she went through like 5 tires in a matter of like
Yes.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Just blowing tires left and right.
But, you know, Corey being the gentleman he is, went out and changed it. That time.
Yeah.
After the 5th time I was done.
Next time I blow a tire, I'm calling you.
All right, next time you blow anything, please don't call me.
Wow.
Those aren't as easy tires to replace. So
He doesn't know that yet, though. Shh.
just saying.
Tire's taller than him.
Ooh. Shortest? That seems like a shortest comment.
I'm not even gonna do it. I'm gonna be the bigger man here and step away.
Are you though?
I am.
It's like, really, I'm the bigger man. Anyway.
Yep. I'll let that one be. You're welcome, buddy.
Corey, would you mind grabbing me a beer out of the fridge then?
Again? I'll be accepting tips.
Pitter patter.
Pitter patter, come on, Corey.
Accepting tips, huh?
And I'm just gonna take a gander, but I guess Danielle probably wants a weight call too.
Just the tip, Corey?
Does she want one too?
Thank you, sir.
You want?
Or is it?
Yes, please.
You may not be able
What do you know? I'm right again.
Danielle, while we're gonna pass this over here too, why don't you start breaking out the shot glasses here?
Ooh,
Thank you.
thank you. Thought this was a dry county for a second.
Ooh, this is a fancy one.
Hey.
Where did that come from?
Pause off.
Hey, that's not yours. That's not yours.
Where's my
Nah,
soapstone?
Hey,
It's in the dishwasher.
well, there's order here.
Oh, okay.
I
okay, look,
don't know what
look,
I'm doing.
Look.
We
This is not my
It won't
normal
be that hard.
tweet.
Hold on. I
What?
feel like this is the part of the podcast where Corey would like to explain to you how he would like his shots.
Please explain.
Well, no, we just decided that we're all gonna have our own personal shot glasses. So if you could figure out which one's mine.
That
Yeah.
one, I'm assuming.
Oh, very good, very good.
Don't get sassy with me.
There it is.
And let's not just throw these around. These aren't, you know, juice boxes. This is
Oh!
Do you see?
Nice
Do you
catch.
see?
Good save.
This isn't apple juice, Danielle.
Podcast would have been over right then and there.
Right.
I'm not sure why I'm holding them all, but
Sons of bitches.
Well, because
I think we're just gonna.
That one's
Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know.
you
This
taking all
seems
the
like a
shots?
decision that would come later on in the
Pour
day.
away.
No, please.
Bob's ready for St. Patrick's Day.
Are we doing this one?
That's the one that we're doing. Unless someone would rather not have that.
None for me, please.
No, for me.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Ah, pitter patter.
Do we, there's no fireball?
Do you want me to help you?
Did you bring Fireball?
I have a little one.
I
up
have
in the
2
car.
hands.
No, but let's stick to talking about fireball. Corey's face.
Well, you're down here, so it's
I
clearly
just
not
had
in
a
the
little
car.
teeny bit.
Oh.
Hey-o.
Like
Whoever likes Fireball, I feel is gonna really like this.
a spit.
It is actually pretty good.
Oh, we
Is
know
it?
Danielle
Okay.
doesn't like Fireball.
I think if you can do
Correct.
Jameson, you'll have no problem doing that.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Once again, this goes back to that whole.
You want to try some?
No, I'm gonna
I
try.
should say, you know what, I'm like,
It's one shot.
What is
well, that's
this, peer
yours
pressure?
then.
Yes.
How much?
Okay,
No,
well, maybe you can help me with
Peer
one of
pressure by
these.
Corey.
I'm like
Gentle.
that in junior
Put
high.
it on your hand.
This,
I'm
I've,
good. I can't.
I've been having shots.
The fact that you're still holding all of those in your hand is killing me.
Yeah, I used to be a. Well, I don't know how much of this we're gonna have.
He
This is
used
all
to
we
be a
got.
barista.
This is all we have?
Yeah, that to Corey. Please. Thank you.
See, I feel like there's times where we have like 5 bottles of Fireball, and then there's other times where we have nothing.
Surprised you guys don't have a dispenser.
So am I.
We're gonna.
Well,
What is this?
once
So
we get a
am I.
sponsorship,
There you
Uncle
go.
Ray's official.
I guess it's mine, because the only other one is Nick, right? And he just wants a little bit.
Yeah, does he?
He owns the bottle.
I can make a run.
Some of Grandpa's old cough medicine.
We are gonna take a break, so.
We'll be
That's
right
kind of what
back.
this smells like.
Oh, good.
Cough medicine.
Thank
so
you.
Tamika,
I think-
when we talked about the Carolina Reapers that one day, I texted her the next day that we had told the story about her, and she said she had fallen asleep already.
You're right. I don't know why. I was
Well, that's what you want to hear.
It was a late one.
I was
so
watching the podcast, but I fell asleep.
But she just came on and chimed in. She says, I saw the last few minutes of your story about me during the last podcast. For the record, the pepper was hot, but I didn't drink anything.
No, I don't think you said she did. Did you?
No, she didn't know. She didn't have any water, nothing.
No.
She said that shit was warm though, but Nick, I would do it again. So
Interesting.
This summer,
I might take that challenge.
I think we need to. There's stuff that's hotter than the Reaper, right?
No.
Oh, I think it needs to be done on a podcast live.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll have to.
Tamika, there you go.
We'll have to bring Tamika in on the podcast
That's
one day.
that's your invite right there, and you're gonna have to eat some hot peppers.
My arm's not on.
Click.
Oh, cheers.
Thank.
Oh, come on.
Shaky hands.
Oh, that's gross.
Strong.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's very sugary. Yeah, it's almost like a Kool-Aid undertone.
That's worse than Fireball.
Like if you
Yeah.
if someone was really high and mixed like Kool-Aid powder with whiskey, I feel like that's the outcome.
Oh.
I feel like that story was rooted
I
in
can
an
see that
actual
working out.
I feel like I've had some relatives
No.
that've probably done that.
No. I feel like they're like, oh man, this is really low bottom shelf whiskey. Let's see if we can make it taste better.
That feels
All
like-
we have is powdered Kool-Aid.
That's what we call
feels like the cherry
Appalachian
Coke. The
Kool-Aid.
cherry Coke I got in the movie
Appalachian
theater.
Kool-Aid.
And someone inadvertently dumped some whiskey in it while I wasn't looking.
Oh, those bastards.
That's what it feels like.
Tamika accepts the challenge.
That's gross.
That's fantastic. She'll have to come one night up here with us, and
Mhm.
we'll do a Reaper challenge.
Can you grow like 12 of them?
Or how about we piggyback off LA Beast and pool some money or some sponsors' money and get the one chip challenge.
Ooh.
See if she'll do that while
one
she's
chip
I
there.
don't know, dude. I feel like she could easily handle the one chip challenge.
How about the nuts?
Now that
Stick to the topic, sir.
I think that would be a good idea.
I put the pins back up and he throws a strike.
And just to give you guys some insight on this, it's one of my old bosses and someone that Nick works with. She's at a different site, but she loves spicy food and hot food. And we would order like Chinese and stuff and Thai all the time, and I would have to put like a custom note on the order. Like I'd order it as hot as you possibly could from the restaurant, but then put a note on there like, no, seriously guys, like make this devil's asshole hot. And
of course, Corey said, "No spice at all, please."
exactly. But she'd get it, and like she'd like open it up, and I was like, oh, and she would have like a bottle of Frank's and some other hot sauce in the office, and just be like, all right, put some more of that. I'm like, Tamika, what are you doing? And she'd sit there just eating. She's like, oh, this is fine. I'm like, that's disgusting. So the one day Nick had some dehydrated Carolina Reaper that he wanted to give to her, and we were at his house. He gave it to me. He's like, oh, it's for Tamika. I'm like, okay. So I went to go try some. Nick was like, don't do that. Now, as much as Nick and I love to see each other in pain, for him to say, do not do that,
It's bad.
I was like, Nick has never said that to me before, so I should probably not do this. So I'm like, okay, fair enough, seal up the bag. I took it to Tamika the next day at work, and she, right before we went into roll call, she did the same thing I was going to do. She put some on her finger and put some on her tongue, and we're sitting there in roll call, and she's talking. See the sweat start coming down a little bit. Oh. Yeah. Anyways, guys,
Welcome, Amy, first time listener.
that's whew, man. And she finally like, all right, guys, you guys go ahead. I gotta get out of here real quick. So to see her struggling like that with something, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
thank God I
You
did
know.
not eat that.
You know,
Right.
it's
Because
bad.
clearly my
Right.
night would have been over.
She probably
Yeah.
never gets sick either, does she?
No.
Oh,
No.
so-
So,
Spicy
so
food.
Tamika, I'm gonna throw a link in here. This is what we were thinking of. There's made popular by YouTube star that we watch called LA Beast. If you guys haven't seen him, check him out. And he's a competitive eater, and he specializes in Guinness World Records and breaking them and things like that. But hot stuff is what he likes to do as well. And so he's done this. He recorded himself doing the Death Nut Challenge.
That's what I always have, the Death Nut
So
Challenge.
we'd be willing to pop for the Death Nuts. if you wanted to show up and come on the air and attempt to do it. We think that'd be awesome, and I'm going to put a link to so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think you're drawing a lot of listeners.
I feel like
You do that.
I feel like I would be in pain just watching her eat that in person.
it's something Hobby Trucking could sponsor.
Yeah.
You can get behind that.
Yes.
Yeah. You might even
We
get a
accept
charter.
checks and cash. So whatever you got on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say tens and
Oh.
twenties, please.
All right, it's a start.
I'll have to go to the ATM.
If you need a 10 or some ones, Bob has a whole wallet full.
I
We
did.
saw that a little
I
bit
did.
earlier.
Just
He
the
just
ones
has
now.
ones.
Yeah.
Just the one.
The 10 is
Right. Is the 10 going to be enough? Because if it's not, I've got these 4 ones, and that's about as much as I can do for you, daughter.
Well, most of the time she's like, just transfer the money,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Well,
well, how much do you want? She's like, oh, $15. I'm like, but if I transfer it, the odds of me getting my change back are very slim.
Oh,
Well, that's
there's
not
no
gonna
way.
happen.
Very slim. But if you give her a 10 and you go, hey, where's my chin of cheese? And then you'll get something. $2,
Pocket
$3.
limp.
Yeah.
By the way, we do have to say, too, I'm a firm believer in the old adage of people throw rocks at things that shine. And Mr. Jason Thomas.
I was going to say, is that really an old adage?
Yes.
That's
I feel like
That
you
is
just-
a Taylor Swift
is a-
lyric, but that's okay.
oh.
Is it?
It sure is.
Oh, I hope.
Well, okay.
I hope it is.
Well, there's a lot
Please,
of.
God, if there is a God,
There are.
Google Taylor Swift.
I'm sure Taylor Swift
Google
made
it.
it up. I'm
we are,
so certain.
We are looking it up right now.
Oh my God.
It is. Not, I may not be verbatim what he said, but it is.
No, that's an old saying. People throw rocks at things that shine. It just makes sense.
Never. No.
You've never heard that.
No,
Never heard
not in my
that.
life.
Anyhow.
And
I
yeah.
did-
Because
You
I'm
must
pretty
be
sure I've
watching
used
to
that
a lot
quote
of Taylor
before.
Swift.
I don't just say though.
What? What?
Oh my god, what the hell
Wow, I've never
happened?
seen him laughing.
The first thing. The first thing that pops up in Google when I put people throw is this. This is people.
Wow.
Can somebody read it over there? Because he can't read it.
People throw cheese at babies. That's a hot
It's
thing
a
now.
challenge.
Oh
It's a
yeah, the
challenge.
Michigan
You haven't
thing.
seen
You're
it?
not on Facebook.
Look.
So, yeah.
Look, my dad grew up in downtown Detroit.
Oh my God.
That was a saying.
gone viral.
That's a saying that's as old as time.
People
People
throw
throw
cheese
cheese
at
at
babies.
babies.
Yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
You've never heard that?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift has a song about it.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't.
No, so
No, that's a recent
viral.
viral
challenge.
Is
Some-
it?
Have you
someone,
not seen it?
someone-
No. Literally, there's a baby in a chair, in a high chair, just going, and they're literally taking like a square of pre-wrapped,
And just
and
throw
just
it at 'em.
they'll throw it so it sticks to their face,
so yeah, it was
and the
actually,
baby's like,
it was
it
actually,
doesn't understand what's happening.
it's like that.
How have I not
You know,
seen
I
this?
don't know.
the
I don't
Velveeta,
know.
Oh my God.
you know, like the
Social
grilled
media.
cheese,
The
cheese,
individually
like,
wrapped
that's wrapped
slices.
in,
of-
yeah,
Oh,
it-
craft
I'm
cheese.
yes.
It's basically plastic cheese.
they announced
God.
it was.
It's just like a fling,
It
and
was
it's just
some-
like a quick, right on the face.
Corey.
I'm gonna pass out.
It was literally just someone making a
Oh.
stupid video and they uploaded it to Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
their little kid and they throw it and it just happens to stick to the kid's face and the kid's like completely bewildered. But I did hear
everybody's
that,
doing
that
it
it
now.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started
Oh
in
my
Michigan.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
It started in Michigan.
Yep.
So
Many of the
YouTube
stupidest things ever have started.
Okay, so what were we?
Cheese. It's either
So
Michigan or
people
Michigan or
throwing what
Wisconsin.
rocks?
People throw.
No, I think we should end it with that.
No.
Oh,
Moving
you
on.
wish we could end it with that, but no, sir.
I feel like we should go out on a high note, a little
We are.
showmanship.
Yeah, we're gonna end a Facebook Live here in just a second.
I've known Corey for years and I've never seen him laugh that hard.
That's, it's not. I've never seen this viral.
I've never seen him laugh that hard when it's not been at me. So this is a
I would say
treat
I
for
knew
me.
it was good because he couldn't talk, and
Right.
when he can't talk, it's like his dad jokes he tells.
Sometimes people throw
Oh,
donuts when
he's
they're
the
drunk.
king of dad jokes.
I know.
What's that?
Sometimes people throw donuts when they're drunk.
Oh, that's true.
Add homeless people.
Taylor's oldest.
So,
time.
Another Taylor Swift lyric.
So I got to people throw rocks. Nothing even further than that. Very first thing that pops up: people throw rocks at things that shine. Song by Taylor Swift.
It may be. I'm sure it may
No,
be.
nothing about an adage.
man.
Nothing about an old saying.
It is an old saying.
Finish typing it out and see what else pops up.
It's literally only that
Well, I'm
and
pretty
people
sure
throw
he's
rocks.
pretty sure he's quoting Taylor Swift here. But we gotta.
I have a feeling that
Have we just exposed
We gotta
some
snoops this.
theft from old lyrics or quotes by Taylor Swift?
Yep. First thing, Vivo video, Taylor Swift.
Oh man.
I have a feeling you would have found that even if it wasn't there.
Oh no, I have a witness right here. It's literally the first thing that pops up.
Actually,
I
like,
wasn't
the only
denying
thing
that it
popped
might
up.
be a Taylor Swift lyric.
But I feel like you're saying that's true. However, she's just pirating something that our late President Warren G. Harding once said.
Exactly.
And therefore, it's an old adage.
It is.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Everything is literally just Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it'd be like if she was like, "A stitch in time saves 9," and we're like, "Oh, that's a Taylor Swift song." Yeah, it's a horrible one. It sucks.
I'd like to apologize if I'm at the table.
Yeah. Well, good. It was during my singing, so I think everyone's thanking you for that.
All right.
But what I was trying to say in the fucking first place is that
before you quoted Taylor Swift.
Yes, before I quoted, my secret passion for loving Taylor Swift. No, is back to Jason.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he really? Are you watching those videos now?
I had to pull one up.
Dude, not while we're doing it. Let him finish.
I said go ahead.
No, this is really not that great. It's like one of those things where everyone's like on the edge of their seat with bated breath, and they're like, "That's all you want to say." No, it was going to be about Jason's interpretation of the name of our podcast. Jason Thomas from Uncle Ray's Official.
Yeah.
The only shameless plug that we'll give without being sponsored.
See, this is why you should wait. He's going to be reduced to a blubbering pile of laughter.
I feel like this is like the spirit of Joe Guido past that has taken over his body.
It is.
Okay, I'm done.
All right.
So
I'll watch the rest later.
God.
He's like, hey man, hey Nick man, hey when's the next time you guys are doing that Schnozzcast? Like, wow, what the fuck, man? I wasn't ripping on him or anything. And he thought he couldn't have been more proud of himself. He was hysterically laughing at. He's like, I'm just kidding, man. You know I'm like your guys' biggest supporter. He's like, Schnozzcast, and he just starts. I'm like, that's not even funny. It's some very gentle comedy, Jason.
So when you told me that, what did I tell you?
Yeah. We constantly give him ribbing all the time.
Yeah, we kind of have it coming.
Yeah, we do.
So I don't have any problem with that. I wasn't offended. It was a good joke.
I think you guys should do a Schnozzcast from Uncle Ray's.
Yeah, he would love nothing more. Was it a good joke?
No, I'm just gonna let it go because he literally every man that is recorded on this podcast, hey man, is a nod to Jason, and it's a tongue in cheek, ribbing.
You guys have to meet the guy.
Yeah,
you have to meet him.
Yeah, salt of the earth.
Oh, he's a good guy.
3-piece suit.
Yes. Hey man. There's a lot of hey mans peppered through his vernacular.
A lot is an understatement.
Yeah, think about everybody
Man.
who knows under the age of 19, and how often they use the word like.
Or
Yeah,
or
that's how many hands you get.
That's what I was going to call Jack out on that last podcast.
He did it a lot.
What do you say?
Oh, so like
So like I was
like,
going in here and like she was saying this.
Kind of like
There's a lot of likes.
a little
like
Valley
that.
Girl-ish.
And like then they were like, and Bob's like,
Bob's like,
hey Jack, you want to say the name of your band? He's like, oh yeah. Wait, what was that?
It's the way you said it. It's like you had Harris. It's like, oh yeah.
Anyhow.
Stonecrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipping his hair.
Yeah, we're pretty popular. Pretty popular.
But what was it? Candy Pop Rocks or whatever, the one that he was plugging initially.
Oh.
Kept
Oh, the
talking.
other
I don't-
band.
Yeah.
I
It's an
don't
all-girl
remember.
band. You'd think I remember
It's
this.
an all-girl band.
I'm like, really? All chicks? All right. I do not remember the name. He bought a pin to put on his little.
Yeah. And then we said if we gave you like a Schnozzcast sticker or
oh,
something.
I can't put that anywhere.
Nope.
It's too big. It won't
Too
fit.
big.
Well,
You see the size of this bass guitar? It's literally like 6
Well,
feet tall.
the funny thing is that he had told us this is Bob's son, and he plays in a band. He was telling us that he has a clear guitar case, and so we said, well, this sticker would be fantastic, so you wouldn't be tripping over your guitar case all the time. You can put the sticker right on the top.
It's like a bumper sticker for the Invisible Jet.
Right. Right.
You know where you're gonna go. You know where you parked it.
Oh, where'd I park the
there it is.
Schnozzcast.
Yeah. All right.
So going back to the
Yeah.
jokes thing too, I had a request for a good joke. And I know Scott appreciates them a lot.
Yes.
You talk about a dad joke.
Yes.
Here we go.
Did you really have a request, or is this?
No,
just one?
there was really a request.
Who requested this?
Amy J. Wisman requested that she
I don't know
wanted
who that is.
Remind me to verbally flog her on the next podcast.
Flog. God.
Asking for another dad joke from Corey.
So I used to be addicted to the.
What's that?
I hope that got recorded. I hope that's on the audio.
All the way. Yes, it is.
You could hear it all the way down here. Jesus.
Yes, because I turned the gain up on these mics before I started. Yeah.
So I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around.
All right, folks. Well,
And on that note.
This has been episode 12 of Schnozzcast.
Oh my God! I swear, is that you?
No.
Is it just me
No,
that smells that?
I made the mistake of doing that one time around you, and he returned to the office with a gas mask.
I
Walked out of his car, got to his trunk, comes back in, opens the door.
No, I do.
We
No,
worked
I
together at Halford.
Thank you.
And he's adorning a full gas mask, sat down and started spinning camera.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, dude.
Wow,
I
that's
was like,
disgusting.
I don't know whether to be impressed that you have a gas mask in the car or wonder what you do in your spare time.
He was. You know how long he was waiting to put that.
Oh,
gas mask on?
I know.
Yeah. He's like, Hoppy. You
He's
feel
like,
that?
yes.
Hey, I got an extra burrito. You want it? I'm not gonna eat it.
It was bad. I'm not
Extra
gonna lie.
onion.
Tiny little office and.
Here's some White Castle,
Tiny
pal.
little office. All right, let's bring this to a close then, sir, and we will take a break and then come back.
Oh, we're bringing this to a close?
Yep.
All right, I guess we can do that.
All right.
Well-
Gentle audience, good listeners. Thank you for joining in.
Thanks for the invite.
Well,
Great time.
we still,
We're not
we
going
actually
anywhere.
still got more to go.
Oh, no, we're gonna-
Part two.
We're gonna take a break and then we're gonna come back and
We're
do
just killing the live
do the rest
feed.
of the audio.
I got
We
you.
waited for Corey to get the camera up forever just to say, see you later. Thanks for coming out.
Before we do go though,
Yeah.
real quick here, because since Scott's one of our guests, you got apparently you sing a Mad Rihanna Havana Na Na Na.
I do, but I would say that for the next podcast.
Can we do it? Can we do it after we take a break?
And I have a designated driver.
All right. Okay. Fair enough.
Gotcha. Well,
That's a good excuse.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, yes, we're going to sign off live and take a break and continue on the second half of the podcast.
All right.
All right.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, I should probably grab my phone.
Don't grab the phone.
Oh, I almost knocked over.
Bye.